Good morning. Can you state your name, please, for the record?
Wendy James.
And Ms. James, are you a probation officer with the Board of Probation and Parole?
Yes, I am.
Were you requested to complete a precedence investigation report on Mr. McElhaney?
Yes.
Okay, is the rule requested? Turn your microphone on, I can hear you better, but
Yes,
you
sir.
have witnesses, are you asking for the rule?
Well, I'm not asking for the rule. However, I thought I would bring up my witnesses in case.
I don't have any opposition with witnesses
Just
staying
let
in
them stay
here.
in the courtroom. The rule is more important in a evidentiary hearing at a trial than it would be at a sentencing hearing.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
All right, Ms. Officer James, when you began your precedence investigation report, can you tell us what you do in regards to gathering information in order to put that into the investigation report?
I request an NCIC first to get a criminal history. I set up an interview with the defendant, and I try to also interview the victim to get information.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And it looks like as well, if in the precedence investigation report, you also went through Mr. McElhaney's prior probation history?
Yes.
Okay. Can we turn to, it looks like page 6 of your precedence investigation report? You stated at the bottom of that page, you start the prior record.
Yes.
Can you list to the court the prior criminal history convictions that Mr. McElhaney had that you were able to find?
Okay, well, the most recent was the violation of probation out of Murray County, and that was on these charges. They had violated him and reinstated after 90 days.
And was that because he was on probation when these charges were committed?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
And then, do you want me to do the disposition date or the offense date on these, or just the list of?
The disposition date will be fine.
Okay, so disposition date of 1/2/24 was when he was placed on probation for burglary and theft. He got a 3-year sentence. And then prior to that, 5/30/2023, he got a 1 year to serve for theft of property. And then I think the disposition dates on the following, I think 5, or the same date. It was evading arrest, casual exchange ×2, marijuana, and unlawful drug paraphernalia. And then prior to that, 5/30/2023, he got a 1 year to serve for evading arrest. 9/28/21, theft of property, 2 years suspended to probation. 1/9/2020 was a VOP. Another 1/9/2020, he got a casual exchange, prohibited weapons. And then 6/10/2019, casual exchange. 5/8/19, contempt of court. 5/27/2020, license suspended. 4/19/2018, contempt of court, and theft of property, shoplifting, driving with license suspended. 3/19/2015, DUI. 11/30/2011, he violated his probation and was reinstated. 1/14/2011, Schedule 6 drugs. 1/24/2011, a DUI. 1/14/2011, Schedule 6 drugs, he got 2 years probation. 11/1/2011, okay, that was a prior record created. It was a Schedule 6 drugs. 2 of those. And then 4/26/2004 was casual exchange, 11/29 probation.
So in looking through his prior record, it appears, based on the information you provided, that he has had criminal convictions from the age of 20 up until today, where he is approximately 40. Does that
Yes.
sound correct?
Yes,
So for about 20 years, he's had convictions consistently through that time?
yes.
Okay. And can you tell us, in regards to page 12, the prior probation history as well? Can you go over that with the court, please?
So I pulled this from all of the notes in the computer. So it looks like 1/14/2011, he got put on probation for 2 years for Schedule 6 drugs. While he was on probation, he got arrested for domestic, but that was retired. In 8/29/2011, he got a VOP on a new arrest for drugs. 11/1/2011, he got 2 years split confinement, but that was pending prior to the initial probation. 4/9/2012, determinate release probation. 4/2/2013, he got a partial revocation, had to serve 90 days and then be reinstated, and as a condition, complete the Hope Center. And he did enter the Hope Center on 5/15/2013. His sentence was allowed to expire because there was no extension put in to allow him to complete Hope Center, but he told me that he did complete Hope Center after his probation had expired. 5/30/2023, he got 1 year to serve for theft of property and then got a determinate release with a detainer. 1/2/2024, return, split confinement, burglary, theft, and property. 3 years. Guess that was probation. 8/2/24, a new arrest for the current charges, and then 9/3/24, the VOP warrant for the new charges. And 12/5/2024, he was partially revoked and to serve 90 days and then reinstate, and then 12/16/2024, he was reinstated to that Maury County probation.
Okay. And I presume on this prior probation history, that is history that you would have had through state probation, is that correct?
That's where I
So
got the notes.
that doesn't include any misdemeanor probation or if there was community corrections?
No.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to speak to a victim in this case?
I did.
And who was that victim?
Miss Mildred Thaxton.
Okay. Did she speak with you over the phone or were you in person?
We spoke over the phone.
Okay. And she provided you some information in regards to this case?
Yes.
Okay. And then ultimately, on the last page, there is information in regards to a needs and risk assessment. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Well, it's an assessment that we do that lets us know the risk for the offender reoffending, and it lets us know the needs that they have that may help them in probation or their sentence to keep them from reoffending.
And what was Mr. McElhaney's score, risk assessment score?
He scored high risk.
Okay. Is that the highest that probation has categorized under their risk and needs assessment?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask to make this precedence investigation report an exhibit in the sentencing hearing.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right.
Does the court have a copy?
I have a copy that was marked, that was filed with the court. We'll just make that the exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Talbot, you have a question?
Thank you, Ms. James. You said that you had talked to the victim, Miss Mildred Thaxton, by phone, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Did she tell you that the defendant actually entered her home?
No, she said he tried to get into her home.
Okay, so where it reads in the report on page 5 that the defendant made it inside her home, that's not in fact the case. Is that accurate?
No, you
I see
left off half of the
Okay,
sentence.
I see where I've messed up on that. Yeah, no, forgive me, yeah. You in fact pointed out that it was speculating about what would happen had he made it into her home,
Yes.
which he did not.
He did not.
Okay, she didn't say he made it into.
No.
Okay. So in that case, and you would agree that you found no indication that any property had been taken from the victims in this case?
No,
Okay. And that nobody was assaulted or hurt?
no.
And then regarding the defendant's criminal history, you found no signs of any convictions for a robbery,
No,
okay? No convictions for assaults or anything like that?
no,
He was just charged with a domestic assault that was retired at some
yes,
point? He had evading charges, is that correct?
yes,
Okay, and then he had several drug convictions?
Yes.
And then also some property crimes, is that fair to say?
yes.
Okay. And did you interview the defendant?
I did.
Okay, when did that occur?
That was October the 9th.
Okay. Was that an in-person interview with the defendant?
It was.
Okay. And did he express that he'd been using drugs and alcohol?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did he tell you when that started?
He did. He said that the heavy use started after his mother had passed away.
Okay. And did he say when the death of his mother occurred?
He did.
Okay. When was that?
Hold on, let me find it. I don't remember. I think it was 2018. Yes. 2018.
And did he also report having an overdose in 2019 on heroin?
He did.
And did he admit to you that he has a drug problem?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And do you believe that he has a drug problem based
I
on the
do.
information you have?
Yes.
Okay. Did he express to you that he wanted to change his life to be a role model for his children?
Yes, he did.
Okay. You wrote on page 16 that your recommendations for the plan of supervision would include the victim's impact, as well as other recommendations based on the personal interview with the defendant. One of those is the completion of a long-term drug treatment program. Do you believe that that would benefit Mr. McElhaney?
If he is ready to change, I believe it would.
Okay. And did he express a willingness to change his behavior?
He did.
In the strong R risk assessment, you rated him, or he ended up being rated as high, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now it showed some results regarding his needs as someone who was assessed for risk. On the category where it said moderate need, there is a scale, a scale that says 62% moderate need in the area of friends/associates and residential. What does that mean?
It could mean the people he is associating with, and also it's where he lives. For some reason, if an individual owns a home and lives as the primary resident or head of household, it rates them lower in score. If they are living with family members, it rates them higher.
Okay. And why is that? Why is it higher if living with other people?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
General, you redirect?
I just wanted to follow back up on the questions in regards to the defendant's version when you interviewed him. I know that you were asked whether or not he said he was on drugs at the time, but what was his explanation for being on the property of these victims?
He said that he was on his four-wheeler and it had run out of gas, so he had stopped to look for gas and didn't find any, so he was walking home and he got hot and needed a drink of water, and so that's when he went on to Miss Thaxton's property to use her water hose.
Okay. And do you know where he was living at the time?
He was living with his uncle at 806 Pruitt in Dixon.
Okay. And do you know his uncle's name?
Not right off the top of my head, but it's in the report. Timmy?
Okay. And then let me go back to, as well, you were asked in regards to Mr. McElhaney's motivation to be involved in the lives of his children. Is that something he told you?
Yes.
Okay. And throughout this report that you created through your investigation, did he also tell you that it had been quite a while since he'd seen his children?
The youngest, I think he said he hadn't seen in a couple of years.
And then in regards to child support, were you able to determine if he owes child support on his children?
He did tell me he is around 90,000 in arrears.
Okay. So something that he's obviously, that would build up over a period of time,
Yes.
clearly. Okay. Thank you. I don't have any further questions. Will you state your name for the record, please?
Deputy Hargrove.
And Deputy, is your first name Cody?
It is.
Okay. You work for the Dixon County Sheriff's Office, is that correct?
Correct.
Were you working back on August the 1st of 2024?
I was.
Can you tell us how you originally became involved in this case? Were you dispatched out, or did you have a traffic interaction? Tell me how you became involved in the case involving Mr. McElhaney.
Yes, ma'am. At approximately 9 o'clock that night, I was dispatched to Furnace Hollow in reference to a suspicious person.
And when you got there, who did you speak to? Who did you see? Did you see a suspicious person?
Upon arriving at the address that was given per dispatch, I made contact with the homeowner, and he provided some video of a subject that was walking around on his property with a light. They had already priorly searched the property and said that he was no longer on there. While I was on scene, the homeowner advised that he contacted the subject, and when he did, the subject stated that he was there looking for a guy named John. When the homeowner told him that there's no John here, the subject stated okay and then turned and left the property.
And do you know who the victim was in that case?
Michael Zajac.
Okay. And was Mr. McElhaney later identified as being the person on his property?
Yes, ma'am. After I left the property, I patrolled the area and I made contact with Mr. McElhaney at the intersection of Eno and South Eno.
Did you speak to Mr. McElhaney at that point in time?
I did, due to the call and it being 9 o'clock at night and he's sitting in a church parking lot. I made contact with the subject. He identified himself, and whenever I asked him if he had been around in the property or whatnot, he said he's been mowing all day and he was just out walking around.
All right. What did you tell him at that point in time, or did you arrest him at that point in time?
No, ma'am. At that point in time, due to the fact that he was asked to leave the property, he did leave the property. I just conveyed the fact that he's formally trespassed from the Furnace Hollow property.
Okay. Did you later find out more information in regards to Mr. McElhaney's involvement at the Mr. Zajak's property?
Yes, this was after a separate incident that I found out that there was more to do with that property.
And go ahead and tell us, I guess, either the second incident or what you found out later about that property, whichever
Yeah,
is the appropriate order.
So to have the appropriate order, approximately 2.5 hours later, we got another dispatch for a suspicious person at 1325 Eno. Upon arriving on scene, I made contact with Miss Thaxton on her front porch, where she advised that she had seen somebody walking around on her property with a light. I searched the property, her backyard and barn and stuff, and could not make contact with the subject. Another deputy arrived. We searched the area, split off in different directions. The other deputy decided to go back to the address just to make sure. At that time, we made contact with Mr. McElhaney, and just due to the situation, we detained him just so we could figure out the situation. It was found out that he was in the backyard of Miss Thaxton using her water fountain. While we were back there trying to get his side of the story as to why he was on her property to begin with, he stated that he was thirsty, and at that time, Miss Thaxton's son, Kelly, walked around the back and was asking Mr. McElhaney, did he steal his gun out of his truck because he was on his property as well. Mr. Kelly stated that he also had seen somebody on his property with flashlight, which is why we split up into different directions in the first place. Whenever I went around the front to talk to Mr. Kelly and Miss Thaxton advised that she heard someone jiggling the front door, never heard anybody knock, and when she heard us making contact with the subject in the backyard, she opened the front door and she observed a firearm that looked familiar. Whenever Mr. Kelly arrived on scene, he went inside and he observed that it was his firearm that he stated he had locked in one of his vehicles on his property.
Okay, so Miss Thaxton had found a gun on her porch after Mr. McElhaney had been jiggling the door. Is that-
Correct.
Okay.
And when I
And
first
then-
made contact with Ms. Thaxton, we met on the front porch, and I did not observe any firearm on the front porch.
Did she say that she had brought the gun inside?
She did.
Okay. Now, circling back to, you said later on you found out information in regards to Mr. Zajak's property. What did you find out at that point?
Yeah, so whenever we called a detective out there due to the situation, advised the detective that I had made contact with the McElhaney subject earlier in the day around Eno, South Eno. I advised him of what had occurred and gave him the address of the Furnace Hollow. He decided to go back to the Furnace Hollow address and speak with the victim there. And it was later found that there was video of Mr. McElhaney going into the garage of the Mr. Zajak, which is attached to his house.
Okay. And approximately what was the, if you know, what was, you said that originally after the incident with Mr. Zajak's home out on Furnace Hollow, you saw Mr. McElhaney on Eno Road. What was the distance between where you observed Mr. McElhaney on Eno Road and where you were dispatched out to later for Miss Thaxton and Mr. Thaxton?
It's going to be approximately 2 to 3 miles.
Okay, so they were both on Eno Road, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you requested the warrants on Mr. McElhaney that evening, is that correct?
That is
In
correct.
regards to at least some of these charges?
Yes, that's correct. Whenever I gave the detective the description of clothing that was, the subject was wearing for Furnace Hollow, whenever we made contact with Mr. McElhaney at Ms. Thaxton's house, he was wearing the exact same description, and also that there was a dog involved as well that was following him around. So he matched the description on both incidents.
All right. And you were able to obviously determine that Mr. McElhaney was the person that you spoke to at the
Correct.
church, as well as the person on Ms. Thaxton's property? Is
Correct.
that correct? Okay. Thank you. I don't have any further questions. If you'll please answer any questions of the defense.
Yes, ma'am.
When you encountered Mr. McElhaney at Ms. Thaxton's residence, he was drinking water from the water hose in the backyard?
So whenever I arrived, the other deputy had already contacted him and stated that he was using the water faucet and was already detained when I got there, but he was soaking wet from where his shirt and pants were both soaking wet, and that's when the deputy said that he was using the water faucet.
Okay. And this was in August 2024, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, was it hot?
It was warm outside, but not enough to where it would sweat and have that much wetness on the clothing, because we wear body armor, and I was not sweating that bad.
And was there any property belonging to any of the victims in this case in Mr. McElhaney's possession when you encountered him?
Whenever I encountered him, no. The only thing that we have that belonged to somebody else was the firearm that was found on the front porch at a later date after I'd already been on the front porch.
Okay, so you never saw that, you never located that firearm in Mr. McElhaney's possession?
No, I did not.
Okay. And then regarding the truck described by Mr. Kelly Thaxton, did you look at his truck?
No, due to the situation and there only being 2 detectives on scene, the other deputy went to the vehicle and then just to secure the scene until the detective got there, and the detective took over with the vehicle theft from there.
But Mr. Thaxton's claim was that this firearm was his and that it had been taken out of his vehicle. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, but Mr. Thaxton didn't say that he saw Mr. McElhaney do that, did he?
No, he stated that he saw a subject with a light, which was the case with all the other incidents on his property, and that his vehicle was locked earlier in the day, and that he could vouch that it was locked earlier in the day.
And you weren't able to see that vehicle to determine whether it was, had any damage to it, which would indicate that it had been broken into while locked? You didn't
I
see
did not lay eyes on it due to the fact that I was staying on scene at 1325 Eno.
When you encountered Mr. McElhaney at Ms. Thaxton's residence, did he still have a dog with him?
No, not that I observed. But the clothing description matched to a T based off what I observed on the prior videos.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Redirect. Thank you. You may step down. You have any other?